We don't actually we don't tell the reporters that we just go there and walk around. Then when we tell them about.
So Yimie, we have seen billions of ringgit pouring in Johor State since 2013 by Chinese developers, building so many houses. So actually, what prompted you and Siumang to write this story this week?
Mainly is because of in March we see this news. We were shaken by it as well. It's the Country Garden. They're closing down all their sales galleries in major cities in China. Yeah. Then at the same time, reports say that this might be due to the tightening of capital control by the Chinese government. So we would like to see because it's not only Country Garden is there, it's not only Forest City project there. Previously, like what you mentioned, like 2013, there are other Chinese developers already invested in Danga Bay, mainly in Danga Bay.
Yeah. I think we are quite concerned about Chinese people pouring their investment in Malaysia, like what we saw a couple of weeks ago. TRX agreement, they actually let it lapse as well. Anyway, but you have talked to Dr. Yu and Dato Osman from Country Garden about this. What did they say?
They actually said their cancellation rate is actually not as high as people thought. It's only 60 unit cancellation out of the 16,000 units they sold last year. They do admitted that they will be re-strategizing. Instead of focusing on Chinese buyers, they will look into other buyers, other regions as well.
But are they optimistic? Do they think that this would work? Because I think about 60 to 70% of the buyers were Chinese from their previous sales. So are they actually optimistic to actually sell their properties in other regions like Indonesia, Singapore, or Thailand?
They actually do have sales galleries in KL, Singapore, and Jakarta. Now they are looking at, recently they opened another one in Middle East. Yeah, so they are looking at Taiwan, Vietnam, India as well.
So still on Forest City, so what we heard from the developer is that they are trying to get this special status like Labuan, a duty-free zone, right, from the government, from the state government. So what actually happened there? What kind of activities would we see there?
Country Garden, the Chief Strategy Officer, Dr. Yu, actually told us that they have already got the licenses, duty-free licenses from the Ministry of Finance. So they hope to open 2 duty-free stores in Forest City in a year's time. At the same time, its executive director, Dato Osman, he told us that they are actually in talks with the government for a Labuan status, similar to Labuan status, so that they can have offshore financial center there.
When we look at Johor as a whole, we are going to see about 9,500 units coming online this year by Country Garden, right? So, but there are still some bright spot in the state as well. What did the property consultants say? You spoke to some of them.
We spoke to this guy from KGV International. He's the executive director, Samuel. So he said the 9,500 units mainly will put pressure on rental market. But then for those affordable ones, such as the 700, those properties below 700,000 ringgit will be doing well, and landed will be doing well as well. For the high rise, maybe those price between 400 to 500 per square feet will be doing well. And also we talked to Johor-based BCB Berhad, the property developer there. They will be launching 3 billion of properties in the next 2 years in JB and Batu Pahat.
So we actually mentioned this Singapore-based think tank. It's called ISEAS-Yusof Ishak Institute. They point out that Forest City, some of the galleries being closed in China was because of capital outflows, right? But these were not the only challenges. What are the other challenges that they mentioned?
Because they said sales and marketing pitch and also the design for Forest City are actually quite Chinese-centric. So they have to come up with another package or the new concept. Like how would it be appealing to maybe Singaporeans, Malaysians, or other buyers of the region, and maybe Europeans. That's why for now, what they see is that the project is only more appealing to the Chinese buyers.
So Yimie, overall, are we actually worried about this glut that we are facing in Johor?
Because Chinese developers, they are building at a larger scale, and the price are not for the locals. And many have already said the properties they develop are mainly focusing on the Chinese buyers and foreigners as well. So, and with these capital controls, they do see challenges. So one of their ways is to re-strategizing, like Greenland, they are resizing their unit from 1,500 or 1,600 to smaller units. And like Country Garden, they are re-strategizing. They are focusing on other market. Then also Macrolink we talked to. They will look into Indonesian market.
For more on the stories, pick up a copy of The Edge Weekly at all good newsstands.